Chicago doesn't just celebrate the holiday season, it decorates and it pours them. I'm Sylvia Perez, and we're at the historic Berghoff restaurant, decked out for the holidays with food journalist Monica Eng and brewmaster Jim Riggs. And the mission tonight, pretty simple, a tour of Chicago's most festive holiday bars. The places that go floor-to-ceiling Christmas, serving seasonal cocktails like a love language and turning an ordinary night out into a full-blown December experience. Along the way, we're going to take a look at what's trending now, what we'll all be ordering in 2026, and the holiday traditions that make Chicago so very special. So grab your coat, come hungry. We are tasting Chicago for the holidays. Okay, so I love that we're here at the Berghoff, and how beautifully decorated is it for the holidays. You are someone who loves to do historical perspectives on food. Why did you choose the Berghoff?
Well, it's one of the oldest restaurants in Chicago. 1898 is when it opened. At this bar, back in the turn of the century, you would find no women because women were not allowed in bars. Guys, though, if they ordered a beer, they got a free corned beef sandwich, a free lunch. I wrote about lunches downtown at the turn of the century, and I thought that was fantastic. And look at this. All the history is still preserved, and it's so festive around the holidays.
And it's still owned by the same family?
It is. Yeah.
Which is amazing generations later. And it's also convenient to the Chris Kindle Market, which is hopping right now. So this is a great spot to stop afterwards.
Or instead of. If
That's
the line
true.
is too long and you still want a German Christmas experience, this is where you should go.
We are at the beautiful Gwen Hotel, located between Streeterville and River North in downtown Chicago. When you first walk in this lobby, you see this gorgeous Christmas tree. But there's something else in here that you will not see at any other hotel in the city of Chicago. It's pretty special. Take a look at this. It is a champagne vending machine. All you do is get your coin, put it in there, and watch how this works. I am going to go for a little rosé champagne, so this is what we're doing. Here we go. Just like a normal vending machine, but it's not normal, it's champagne. Okay, how cool is this? And as much fun as this is, wait till you see their rooftop. What they do for the holidays is so much fun. It's gonna blow your mind. We are joined by Jason Sandberg. He is the director of restaurants and bars here at the Gwen. Thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, this is incredible. Tell me what it is you guys do every year when you transform this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Gwen is our annual curling tradition. We're really well known for this, doing this every year, coinciding with the Mag Mile Festival of Lights, continuing all the way to March. It's a really nice, cozy experience this year, kind of reminiscent of an après-ski theme. So we are offering some seasonal drinks, partnering with Minden Mills, a single estate distillery out of Nevada.
Okay.
And then we also are partnering the whole month of December with Moet Hennessy as well, leading up to our big New Year's Eve extravaganza as well.
It is so cozy out here. We're here early, so there's not a lot of people, but I imagine in the evening it is busy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
It's so beautiful out here in the nighttime with all the glows from the fire pits. All of these are reservable year-round, so even if you want to come and join us in January and cuddle up with a blanket with a cocktail out here, it's
And
really...
there's TV screens.
Absolutely. You can
Yeah.
also catch all the football games out
Love
here,
it.
too.
Go Bears, right?
Yeah, go Bears is right.
Okay, but the curling is what blows my mind. How popular is this activity?
Oh, it's extremely popular. You know, we definitely sell out very quickly, so my suggestion is to get your bookings online as soon as possible. It is a complete artificial court, so no special shoes are needed. We do recommend people dress appropriately for the weather, although we have a variety of hot cocktails to keep you warm as well, too.
Okay, so let's talk about the cocktails
Yes,
and
yes.
let's talk about the food. Let's walk over here.
Yeah, for sure.
I absolutely love this, Jason. You guys even have cozy little blankets for people to stay warm. Tell me about your theme here and what was your goal?
Absolutely. So we're kind of taking inspiration from an après-ski. So you'll notice the snowshoes, the skis, kind of leaning towards, like you're, just got back from skiing in the Alps here.
I love it. And then, because of this, you also did food kind of with that same theme. Let's talk about
Exactly.
what we're looking at now.
So we have a Bavarian pretzel with 3 different types of spicy mustard. grilled bratwurst served with our house-made fries, pork schnitzel strips with a brown onion gravy as well too. And then all of our curling reservations actually come with some complimentary cookies from our pastry chef. Only available by pre-order. We do have these fondues, which are extremely popular.
This is
so
incredible.
photogenic.
Yeah.
This is the s'mores chocolate fondue served with cacao berry, dark chocolate couverture with house-made torched marshmallows. Very, very fun.
For people who want to come out, how long will this be going on?
So we just started this past weekend, running all the way through the first week of March.
I love it.
So plenty of time.
And we haven't covered yet the cocktails. Tell me about those.
Okay, so for our curling experience, we have partnering with Minden Mill. So we have some spiked hot chocolate here. It has a little bit of a spice to it with some cinnamon liqueur, some chili, Minden Mill single malt whiskey. We have a single malt bourbon hot toddy that has just a little touch of ginger in it as well too. And then one of my favorites is the Gingerbread Man Martini.
Love that.
Yeah, with our house-made gingerbread syrup, vanilla vodka, little Baileys in there as well.
I can't even imagine on a perfect Chicago night, seeing the skyline, the lights lit, the fireplaces going, all this amazing food. It must be picture perfect.
It is.
Right?
It's a great way to spend
Well,
a night.
first of all, thank you for having us, and cheers to the Gwen.
Cheers.
Happy
Thanks for
holidays.
coming. Happy holidays.
Okay, so Monica, you know, you and I are both big foodies. And I noticed there were certain trends in 2025, and I want to share with you mine, and then I want you to tell me yours.
Sure.
Some of the trends I saw: steakhouses galore opening up in Chicago, which, you know, Chicago is a meat and potatoes town, but it seemed that we had an unusually high number of steakhouses. So steakhouses were part of the trends I saw. I saw a ton of omakase opening up, and I also saw something that's been around forever, but that is just blown up, and that's tavern-style pizza. Everybody seems to be doing tavern-style now with that super thin crust. Would you agree?
I would totally agree. I mean, I noticed you got Pizza Amici, you got Dicey's, you got WG that moved and brought a location from the northern suburbs here. I think it's called Washington Gardens. You've got Giordano's did its first tavern. Pizza Hut did its first tavern, and now George Bumbaris in Edgewater, who's really known for his great deep dish, now he's doing a tavern style as well.
So it's catching on across the country.
It really is, and I love it. It's what we all grew up eating.
Yeah.
You know, union meetings and bowling parties and birthday parties. Now other people are getting into it.
Well, explain how the whole concept of tavern style came about, because there's a fun story behind that.
There is. I talked to Rose Baracco, who's the granddaughter of Vito and Nick's, and she said that when her dad was coming home from the war, he called his mom and in World War II, and he said, hey, you know, there's a lot of pizza here in Italy. I'd like to do something when I get home. And so she started working on a crust. And Rose said it was very different from the crust that her grandma had made before, which was more like grandma-style pizza or sort of Sicilian. It was much thinner, and because they had taverns. And there were a lot of actually gas onion salesmen who were going tavern to tavern saying, hey, you should really get a gas oven, this new thing called gas ovens. And because we can really up your profits. How can we up your profits? By having you serve this thing that's really not many ingredients at all. It's very thin, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sauce. This salty thing, you serve that in your bar, and guess what? People are going to be very thirsty, and you will sell more beer. And you don't need a plate for this. You can just eat it on a little cocktail napkin because it's served in these small squares that are easy to pick up. And tavern-style pizza was born. The funny thing is Rose Baracco said, tavern style. Nobody ever called it that when I was growing up. We called it pizza.
And to this day, they're still open after all these years, selling what some say is the best tavern-style pizza in Chicago. And then some of the other trends, let's go back to omakase. Explain what that is and what's going on with that.
Well, traditionally, it would be a way to eat in Japan where the chef, it's like a tasting menu, but often you're at a bar, and it's a tasting menu where you say, I'm putting my meal in your hands. Please just serve me lots of small plates of delicious things.
Chef's choice, basically.
Basically a chef's choice. You say, I trust you, please feed me well. But now it's expanded into things like taco omakase at Carino. Yeah. Did you say a cocktail
Yes,
omakase?
a cocktail. Dearly beloved, the bar is doing a cocktail omakase. Yeah, and they're doing some fun little bites on top of the mini cocktails.
Oh,
yeah,
that
very
sounds
cool.
great.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's a way of trusting the chef and doing a tasting menu that is just a slight twist from the traditional tasting menu. Speaking of, one of our biggest tasting menu restaurants in Chicago, got a little not great news this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that because Alinea lost a Michelin star. That was huge. That was a shock to a lot of people.
That was enormous news. Some people weren't super surprised because my podcast co-host, Louisa Chu, had also dropped their rating when she reviewed them. Maybe it's just a case of it's 20 years old now, is it?
Yeah, it's been around that long.
And now they just need to reshuffle. It can be devastating for some restaurants, but I'm hearing it's probably not going to change that much for them.
I would think that Grant Achatz, the chef, would probably say, okay, I'm going to show you, and next year he's going to get that 3rd star back. But you know what's ironic is the Robb Report. Are you familiar with the Robb Report? They just voted them the best restaurant in the world, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
Okay.
funny?
So good news,
Like a
bad news
week or
here.
2 after they lost their Michelin star. So,
And Time Out, the Time Out International just named 5 of Chicago's restaurants as the best in the world, and they are Alinea, Ever, Smith, Boca, and Oriole.
oh, really?
So
wow.
still in that rarefied air.
Okay, and what is it about Chicago you think that, I always think, is it just because we live here and we know, but what is it about this city that we have the most amazing food city? I would easily say one of the top 5 in the world, but I'm biased.
I would say we are the top.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's, it's kind of like I have in my book, it's the intersection of cultures. And, when I talk to folks from New York, they say the great thing about Chicago is your rents aren't quite as high. And so you can have more experimentation. You don't have to go with a safe bet every time that all of your investors will definitely say, okay, we can get on board with that. You can be a little funky, like another restaurant that opened this year, Feld.
Yes.
It got on the Michelin star. It got its first Michelin star this year. It was a rocky start at the beginning, but it was this young guy, Jake Potashnik, who'd worked in from Chicago, who'd worked in who'd worked in Europe, and came back here. And I remember him calling me and said, Monica, I want it to be farm to table. I want to pay a living wage to everyone, and I want to change the menu every day.
Every single day.
And I said, I think you're being a little too
Yeah.
ambitious. And now joke's on me. He got his first Michelin star, and he's celebrating like crazy. And it is very experimental. He didn't have to do a cookie cutter thing. And maybe that's what Chicago's all about.
It's interesting because I interviewed him before he got that Michelin star earlier this year. And I remember him saying that he changed his menu every single day. Most chefs would say that's just not possible. But he is doing it. And what makes the story even more interesting is that the year before he opened, you'll remember, he documented everything on TikTok. So he got this huge following.
Yeah.
And then he opens.
Lots of expectations.
Yes, and the reviews were not so good.
Yeah.
And he was determined. There was a lot of critics, and he was determined, and he got that first Michelin star. He is truly an inspirational story of someone who was not going to accept that he wasn't good enough.
I do like a fancy restaurant, but I
Yeah.
have to say, I like sort of more down-to-earth ones. I loved Rendang Republic. I love Indonesian food. We haven't had much of it in Chicago. Those places have left and gone. And so Rendang Republic by John Avila, it's fantastic. It's got one of my favorite dishes in the world, and that's rendang, which is kind of like an Indonesian curry. It's this really deeply spiced sauce that you can cook beef or chicken in. It's kind of like the chicken adobo or curry of Indonesia. Everybody's mom does it differently.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find. And he used to work with Kevin Hickey. And he's this really terrific chef. But he also has Kevin Hickey's hot dogs that he does in Indonesian
he
flair.
does? Okay.
It's in Wrigleyville, and I hope that doesn't end up making it difficult to succeed because maybe Wrigleyville folks aren't always looking for Indonesian food.
Right. Oh,
But
look at
I
here
love
what
that.
we have as we
Wow.
here we go. This is classic Berghoff, right?
Yes,
And you can't
schnitzel
do
with an egg.
schnitzel with an egg without having their pretzel as
my
well and their
gosh,
dipping
you
sauces.
got it
Thank
all.
you. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This feeds a family of 4.
Yes, I think we will be well fed.
And then looks like we have a little beef here with the
Yeah.
yep, very nice. And then I said the pretzel and the dipping sauce.
And you know what I've really loved this year? The way Chicago has come together to support communities affected by these immigration raids. I mean, communities that had just been devastated, where you just weren't seeing anybody walk down 26th Street in Little Village or Pilsen or parts of Belmont Cragen. I love how people said, let's get together and do a taco crawl. Let's get together and buy the entire inventory of this elotero today. Buy them out so they can go home and be safe.
Yeah, you reported on that. So people were going out there to try to take those street vendors off the street so they didn't have to worry about, getting picked up by ICE.
Yes.
And they were literally going out there and just buying everything up.
Yep. Give me all your tamales today. Give me all your corn today.
What did you see while these raids were going on? Because Chicago was really kind of the focus of the nation.
Yeah.
As ICE had converged on our city. What did you see when you describe what that was like in Little Village? Because food is such a huge part of any community, and especially there. What are you going to remember about that?
Well, I remember the devastation and the fear on people's faces. My family, we would try to go every weekend to do brunch on Saturday and Sunday, and we would speak to the servers who were still working. A lot of times they didn't want to speak Spanish. They would put out servers who only would speak English, but sometimes we were able to speak Spanish to them. And I said, well, what are your hopes? And they said, our hopes are that it's going to be over one day. And they said, our workers are terrified, our cooks are terrified, our customers are terrified to come in. I mean, we sometimes would be the only table there on a Sunday morning. And last weekend I went to Canton Regio on 18th Street in Pilsen, crowded. There was a big crowd on Sunday morning, and I was so happy to see people were back.
They're back.
Still ahead, one of the coziest holiday pop-ups in the city, tucked into West Town, with some boozy classics, comfort food, and a back room that feels like a winter escape. And then later, we're going to show you a holiday bar that goes all in on Hanukkah, so don't go anywhere.
So look what they brought us. This is sauerbraten. Tell everybody what that is.
Sauerbraten is basically sliced roast beef that's been marinated overnight, but then instead of the savory gravy, it's sort of like a sweet and sour sauce gravy.
Very good. And then here's their famous schnitzel with the spätzle in the bottom, but egg on top.
Yeah, so it's schnitzel a la Holstein, which means capers, anchovies, and eggs on top.
Okay, let's dig in. What do you say? We'll share each, right?
Yes.
So, I think we all love the holidays. And it's funny, Monica, because you and I have something in common.
Both Puerto Rican.
We're both Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And so when people say to you, what is your favorite holiday tradition? Because you come from two different backgrounds. What would you say that is?
Well, we would always celebrate Christmas with my Puerto Rican grandmother, and that meant lechon, so roast pork, garlicky roast pork. That smell always brings the holidays back.
Yes.
Arroz con gandules, which is, some people would call orange rice with pigeon peas.
Yes.
Pasteles, which are our version of tamales wrapped in banana leaves with plantain masa. And the most delicious drink in the world, coquito.
I love my coquito.
Yes.
We were just talking about that because Puerto Rican families are very funny about their coquito. Like, the recipes they don't ever want to share. What's up with that?
I know. I mean, there's the standard one that you get on the can.
Yeah.
But then everybody's got a little twist on
Yes,
them.
they do have a little twist. Yeah.
And so, I do go with a pretty regular cream of cocoa, coconut milk, vanilla, canela, cinnamon, and rum. But a lot of people like to add condensed milk, but you've heard of a new addition.
So, people are taking water and putting star anise and cinnamon and making it into a tea, and you put a little nutmeg in there, and then you kind of boil that up and then strain it, and that's part of the recipe. So I'm trying that this year.
All right.
I have a big competition with my sisters every year
to
see who can make the best coquito.
Okay.
And I still have not perfected mine, so I'm working on that. But the lechon on Christmas Day, that's something I do every year.
Yeah.
And the arroz con gandules. I love it. Like German traditions here, I love these. I just love all of the cultural, ethnic holiday traditions. I love sharing. And I love that you have two that merge together. What about the other side of the family?
The Chinese stuff, I mean, we'll often celebrate Lunar New Year just after the holidays, but, it would be basically our rice, sometimes a sticky rice stuffing with lapchong, which is this preserved sausage that would go inside the turkey, even Christmas turkey. And I have to say, even though egg rolls are not authentically Chinese, our family, which had our flagship restaurant just down the street, we served the big, chubby Chinese American egg rolls. And one of my great aunts gave me the recipe.
Oh.
And so we'll get together and we'll make dozens and dozens of them.
That's fun.
And then you can save them and freeze them for later.
I love that. That's like the tradition of getting the family together to make the pasteles.
Exactly. Or
I remember
tamales for Mexican
tamales.
families.
I remember my mom used to line us up. There's 5 of us. Each one of us had our own station. Somebody would do the masa. Somebody else would do the meat. Somebody else would roll it up.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
We didn't realize how much fun is. I look back, what a wonderful memory, Now we're in West Town at the Dandy Crown, a British-themed bar that turns into a holiday hideaway every December. It's tucked into the neighborhood, and it's a festive spot with a lot of holiday flair. This place is screaming Christmas, and we are joined by Chaz Allen. He is the bar manager here. Chaz, this is wonderful. You must love putting these drinks together.
Well, it's my favorite part of my job.
Tell us about this. You do this every December.
We love having fun here with our holiday pop-ups, and a Very Dandy Holiday is my personal favorite. I love Christmas,
Yes.
as you can tell. Yeah.
But not only you, the whole place is suited up. I mean,
Absolutely.
You've got a fireplace overhead, you've got in your other room, everything is set up so it's just very cozy. What kind of feeling are you trying to portray here?
Well, it's that nostalgic, wonderful feeling of the most wonderful time of the year, I guess.
Awesome.
Right?
But then what's even more fun is these drinks that you guys do. Tell me, you have
Got a
quite
lot.
the setup over here. What do we have?
I love them. So we have an amazing espresso martini here with maple syrup. I named it after the elf quote. Syrup and coffee, why didn't I think of that?
Okay.
I have a mulled wine, just like at Chris Kindle Market downtown, but
Okay.
I think it's
Oh,
better.
here we go.
I got some eggnog. I made this eggnog super boozy.
Okay.
And
is
it's
that why they're
really
in these
tasty.
little bitty shot
They're
glasses?
little, they're
Yes.
small but mighty.
Small but mighty, love it. And
Yeah.
what else?
I have an awesome old fashioned where I melt down Werther's candies into the bourbon, and it's
wow.
called Grandpa's Pocket.
I love it. And then it looks like you have a very large Santa. I'm hoping this is for more than
just
one
for
person.
you. No, it's just for
Yes.
you. It's actually it serves 6 to 8 people.
Okay.
It's basically a rotating holiday punch. We keep it very Christmassy in there,
Yeah.
but
Well, you've come up with some great ideas. If you look
Thank
at the
you.
menu, the offerings are so much fun. But what are you going to make for me now?
ooh, I heard you like the Grinch, so
I
I'm going
do
to make
love
you
the Grinch.
a Grinch-themed cocktail.
Okay, walk me through what happens here.
Absolutely. I have this green stuff.
What is
this
that green
is
stuff?
rum and melon liqueur.
Okay.
So that's going to go in there. I have fresh lime juice.
Now, is this going to be boozy?
It's not too boozy. It's a normal cocktail,
Okay.
I would say, but
Normal.
it's not boozy. This is a fresh ginger syrup I make from
Ooh.
raw ginger.
Oh, yum.
It's delicious. And then a little bit of pineapple juice.
Okay. That's all there is, huh?
Nope.
Oh.
Jalapeno.
Oh, I love
Makes
it.
it a little spicy like the Grinch, right?
Okay, so we got a little spicy Grinch kick in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Making people smile through cocktails is really that makes me happy.
Yeah, and then the reactions you get, I'm sure, are
Oh.
just priceless, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's green, very
It's
much like the Grinch.
green.
Wow.
It's Grinchy and green.
So how late do you guys stay open?
So Monday through Friday, we're open till midnight, 3 to midnight, and then on the weekends, we stay open till 2 and 3, respectively.
another one.
Don't worry.
Uh-huh. You
It's not
top it
too
off.
spicy, but it's very
Okay.
Grinchy.
Okay, can I take a taste?
Absolutely,
Okay,
please
here we
do. I hope you like it.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just got the kit.
Heck yeah.
Okay, but there's so much more than just this beautiful bar and the fireplace and these amazing cocktails. We want to take you into the back room. Wait till you see that setup and wait till you see the food. Can you follow me?
Yeah, let's go.
It is so cozy in here. Is it always like this, even in the dead of the winter?
Yeah, it stays warm because of all these beautiful fire pits. It's,
And oh, it's so cute. And when it's 20 below, what a fun place to escape because you still feel like you're outside and you're in a winter wonderland. But now we're talking food. And you were saying you're very proud of your food.
I love the food here.
Yeah.
Our chef does an amazing job.
Okay, so what have we got?
So starting here, we got the bacon flatbread. This is delicious. It's super crispy and thin. Super good. I love
Okay.
it. We have a lot of dips on our menu. I like
It's
dips.
easy, right?
Dips are great.
Yeah.
We concentrate on like shareable, fun,
Yeah.
cozy
Get
drinking
everybody
food, right?
involved, right?
Yeah, so I have an elote dip, which is, you know, like your corn
Mexican
and
corn, yeah.
Mexican corn
Uh-huh.
dip. It's absolutely delicious. And crab dip if you're
That looks
feeling
good.
a little fancy.
Okay.
I love that.
You're feeling fancy?
I'm feeling fancy. You know it. I really love our empanadas. I eat them almost every single day.
What's inside?
We have chicken, beef, ropa vieja, spinach and cheese, and veggie.
Wow.
My favorite is the chicken. I eat it constantly.
Yeah, it
and
looks
it's served with
delicious.
an amazing salsa verde that is
Okay.
a little spicy and very tasty.
And pretzels seem to be big these days. Tell me about yours.
I love pretzels. It comes with our house pimento cheese, which is awesome. We also do that with chips, so if you want chips and dip,
Nice.
you can have that.
Okay.
And it also has some stone ground mustard.
Okay.
And then this is our new plate, a
Pretty.
brie set. So baked brie with cranberries and walnuts.
Look at
It's
that.
very
Yeah,
tasty.
Very, very nice. So out of everything you showed me today, tell me your one favorite item that if people come, they absolutely have to order, and your one favorite drink they have to order.
Okay. I think you gotta get the crab dip and the empanadas. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Those two, and then when it
It's
comes
two.
to,
I know you said one,
that's
but you
okay.
gotta get
love it
both.
all. That says a lot how much you feel about this place. And then when it
Absolutely.
comes to drinks,
I love that Grinch
I do
cocktail,
too.
man. It's the best.
it's so good. It has a nice little kick, but it's not too spicy.
Right.
Chaz, or shall I call you Mr. Claus
Yes,
assistant?
Chazzy
right?
Claus.
Chazzy Claus. Thank you so much for the tour. So much fun. Cheers and
Thank
happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you, Sylvia.
So I know that even though you cover everything, you have this great affiliation to food in Chicago, which is why I wanted you here today, because I want to talk about the trends we've seen over the last year and what we're expecting for 2026. But also, you have written your own book, Made in Chicago, Stories Behind 30 Great Hometown Bites. Tell me about that.
Well, I wrote it with Dave Hammond, another food writer, and we took 30 dishes that were invented in Chicago or perfected in Chicago, and we tell you the history of them. And in the process, we tell you the history of Chicago.
Which I love. Okay, I want to go through some of these because as I flip through these, I'm always shocked. My favorite one, because I had never heard of this before, the taffy grapes. What are taffy grapes?
Well, do you remember the old Affy Taffel or
Right.
Taffy apples?
Which
as
is
they're
a
called?
local thing.
Yeah, it's like a caramel
Yes.
apple. It was on Clark and Rogers Park for the longest
Yes.
time. Well, they take grapes and then they dip those in white chocolate, in caramel, or in regular chocolate, and then they roll them in peanuts. And then you can serve them at a baby shower. You can serve them at Christmas. You can serve them at Hanukkah, and it's this delicious kind of fruity, sweet confection.
Where did that come from?
Well,
Who came up with
that's
the
one
idea?
of the things. I talked to a few people who said that they invented them and it wasn't quite clear, but you find them mostly on the south side. You can also find them downtown in a lot of places like JJ's Fish or submarine shops or fried chicken places. And they're kind of like this light dessert, and you only really find them in Chicago.
And I love that because I've been here for a long time, Monica, and I never heard of that. Okay, some of the other things like the jibarito, that's a Chicago thing.
Absolutely. That was invented in the late 90s at Borinquen Restaurant near Division and North Avenue. A guy was looking at a newspaper. He saw a recipe for something called a sandwich de plátano, and he made it, served it, decided to call it a jibarito. And as you and I know, that means someone from the hills. in
Yeah, the hills of Puerto Rico, yeah.
And now it's all over the nation.
Yeah, in fact, I understand at one point most Puerto Ricans didn't even know what it was because it did start here in Chicago.
Exactly.
Now everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then pepper and egg sandwiches. If you're not from Chicago, you're not necessarily familiar with that.
Yeah, I think they may have traveled to a few other Midwestern Catholic towns, but basically at our Italian beef places, they're not serving a lot of beef in big Catholic areas on Fridays during Lent. So they just grabbed a couple of eggs and they had some peppers around because you serve those on beef. They put them in a roll and there you go, pepper and egg sandwich. You can eat it on Fridays in Lent.
I love it. And what would you say is the most unusual thing in this book besides the taffy grapes that maybe people who aren't from Chicago don't know about?
That has to be the Jim Shoe. And that is a mashup of Italian beef or roast beef, corned beef, and gyros, all on one roll with what's called gyro sauce on the south side. You may also know it as tzatziki, and then some jardinera. And if you're really lucky, they won't put it on a roll, but they'll roll the whole thing in a giant flour tortilla and deep fry it, and that's called a super crispy jimshu.
Jimshu. And the name Jimshu.
It's unclear. Sometimes it's J-I-M, sometimes it's G-Y-M. Some people suggested maybe it was like Jamashed, which is a Pakistani name, because you really only find it in Pakistani, Palestinian, or Egyptian or Jordanian-run sandwich shops on the south side.
Coming up, we're talking 2026 trends with Monica, a little affordable opulence, and some classic cocktails. And then Wrigleyville, where one bar turns the whole place blue and silver for a full-on Hanukkah celebration. Stay close. Welcome back to Tasting Chicago for the holidays. We've been visiting some of the most fun and festive cocktail bars. But now, let's take a look at what's coming up when it comes to food trends in 2026 with our friend Monica.
So I don't know how this happened, Monica, but somehow there's a second course here. And, I think it's perfect because I wanted to talk to you about what you think we'll see for dining trends in 2026. We've talked about what we saw for this year. A lot of late restaurant openings this year. I wonder if they're kind of representative of what we'll be seeing in 2026. What are your thoughts, and what do you think we'll see?
Well, we're hearing about this frozen food trend where high-end chefs are making frozen food from Mariana's, like Jose Andres. What else are you seeing?
Well, I'm hearing martinis are making a huge comeback.
Classic cocktails
Right?
in general. I do this column called Happy Hour Hop, and people are doing classic cocktails all over the place. Gus's
Yes.
Sip and Dip. They want to make the Rich Melman place. Let us entertain you. They want to make cocktails affordable again. And here's a tip. The happy hour after 9 p.m. Wednesday through Friday at RJ Crunt's, $5
For?
$5 martinis.
Wow. Are those teeny martinis?
No.
Because I've seen a lot of those.
Regular size.
Really?
And old fashions.
Wow.
And espresso something or amarettos.
Okay.
It feels like such a throwback.
Yes. It's funny because Gus's Sip and Dip, I think every drink is what, $15 or $17? What is it? It's something like that,
it's
right?
low.
So, which, for a big city, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so they're all about going kind of retro, think Mad Men with a twist.
With like sort of wood paneling.
Yes.
It looks like your cousin's basement in the 70s. And he's got a French dip.
Yes.
He's like, I was talking to Rich Melman about it. He said, I just want to be unapologetically nostalgic.
Caviar apparently is making a huge comeback. I'm hearing a lot about affordable opulence, and I've noticed people are putting caviar in everything.
Yeah,
right?
Jake Melnick's is putting it on their chicken wings. I guess if you want to add an extra boost of umami and salt, and you have a little extra money, if you get to do a little dab of caviar, there you go.
I saw the Alston has a big pretzel like this with caviar on top.
Oh, salt on salt.
Yeah, but it's interesting though, as you take a chunk there,
Yeah.
because caviar is kind of a food that people used to think that was only for the rich and famous, but I do think it's starting to become much more mainstream, right? And you see it now almost in every restaurant, and what's interesting about it too is how some very well-known and delicious caviar is really being grown in the United States now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and because a lot of people think, it's come from Russia or it's come from some other European country, but Americans seem to be trying to get a grip on caviar here too.
There you go.
And then other trends. Teeny martinis, I think, are last year, right?
Yeah.
But if I think about other foods that we'll be seeing more of, the thing I go back to is non-alcoholic drinks.
Oh my gosh.
I
NA
think
drinks
that is
huge.
having a huge explosion.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're seeing even, though with mixed success, non-alcoholic spirits.
Yes.
Sort of like non-alcoholic gin, vodka,
Yes.
and whiskey.
Tequila, gin, yes.
Some are more successful than others, and non-alcoholic wine is still trying to get there. Non-alcoholic
agree.
beer, I think, has hit a peak. Some of it is really
I
delicious,
agree.
including the Athletic brand that's here in Chicago.
I think non-alcoholic beer, of all the NAs, that's the one that has totally nailed it.
Yes.
I have found some champagnes are starting to get a little closer, but they do often still taste like the delicious Martinelli's grape
Yeah, exactly.
that we
It's grape
get from the
juice.
grocery store. But one of the things I learned, because I interviewed a couple who own a non-alcoholic bar, they said the problem with a lot of these non-alcoholic spirits is people want to drink them so that when they have an NA tequila straight, you can't drink it straight. It's meant to be mixed as a cocktail.
Yeah, so you can mask how bad
Right,
it is.
but I think we're seeing more and more NA, and I believe that that's as a result of a few things. Some people are tired of what alcohol does to them, and the younger generation seems to be kind of moving away from that as well. They want non-alcoholic.
Yeah. One thing I hope will be a trend is more sustainability. I recently did an interview with an author who was nominated for a Beard Award, Mark Easter, about the most sustainable foods you can eat. What I learned, shellfish, baby. Enjoy those mussels, enjoy those oysters, those clams, the scallops, because those actually pull carbon from the air to make their shell, and they're some of the best ways to sequester carbon and to naturally clean the waters.
I did not know that.
And they're also great for you because they've got omega-3s. So, go and feel great about getting those oysters and champagne.
We're here in Wrigleyville, where every December, a lot of the bars convert into what's known as Wrigleyville Wonderland. Most of them are Christmas pop-ups, but not here at the Greystone. We're talking everything here is all about Hanukkah. And to tell us more about it is owner of the Greystone Tavern, Kyle Bagley. Kyle, thanks for having us.
Great to have you.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Tell me how this theme came about. You're the only Hanukkah bar themed in Wrigleyville.
Yeah, we think maybe in the entire nation,
Yeah.
So we're pretty proud of that fact.
So how did this come about?
My partner, Sam Stone, we've always tried to, kind of go down a different path, and everybody else was doing Christmas, so Sam thought of the idea of what if we do something for our Jewish friends and do a Hanukkah pop-up? And that's how it simply started.
And so how many years now have you been doing this?
This is since 2019.
Wow. Okay, so what do your Jewish friends say when they come in here? Because it probably kind of feels good. You don't really get to find Hanukkah bars
You
too
don't,
much, right?
Yeah, everybody's really grateful for it.
Yeah.
It's like Hanukkah doesn't have the same luster as
Yeah.
Christmas,
Right.
and we get to celebrate Christmas for 25 days, right? And Hanukkah, they kind of got gypped and only had 8. So we keep it going for till all the way to January 5th,
Yeah.
So we keep it going for a long time. But we wanted to give our Jewish friends somewhere where they could celebrate and we could share the Hanukkah traditions and kind of be ourselves, but also appeal to the broader audience and introduce people to Hanukkah, because before we did this, we didn't have very much knowledge of it either.
So it's been a learning process for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I love it too because you have literally decorated everything in blue and silver from floor to ceiling. And you also are doing these fun Hanukkah themed drinks. Tell me about these.
Well,
What do we
we'll
have?
start here with our world famous Gelt Martini.
Gelt Martini.
Gelt Martini.
Gelt Martini.
Yep.
Okay. What's in this?
It's got stateside vodka, a little bit of Bailey's chocolate, and some cream de cacao.
That sounds delicious.
And then we use a blue sugar rim,
Okay.
and we give you a Gelt coin so you can get even more sugar overload.
Very cute. Okay.
This is the Maccabee Margarita. So we use Terramana tequila. It's got honey, strawberry puree, fresh lime juice, triple sec. We shake that all up.
I see 4 straws here. This is very large.
This is for us to share.
Okay. What's in there? Some kind of yummy punch?
It's our mega mensch mule. So we
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. The alliteration, I've got it down. So we put some stateside vodka in there, ginger beer, some strawberry puree, and a little bit of lime juice.
I love it. And even look at the menu here. I got to show you guys this menu. Super cute. And you first walk in, and this looks adorable, small, and intimate. But there's a whole lot more in the back that you have to see. So, Kyle, let's head back.
Let's go.
Kyle, now we're in the back room. Wow, this place is even bigger than I thought. Tell me about this space.
So this space used to be our outside patio, and during the pandemic, we were able to cover it. and it gave us access to the space 365, and it's been a real blessing for us.
So even more space. And I love that not only are you doing this whole Hanukkah theme, but you actually do a partnership with Jewish organizations.
Yeah,
Tell me
so
about
like
that.
in discovering what we didn't want to offend anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked to some of our Jewish friends, and we ended up meeting with the organization Shy Tribe, and kind of went through the things that, you know, like we didn't want to name something and have it be offensive,
Sure,
right? So
because you're not Jewish.
we're not Jewish,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-hmm.
But and through that introduction, now we do events with them. So they do like dreidel tournaments and other things, mixers and other things like that.
That's great. And
Yeah.
then you've got your Jewish themed foods
Yes.
here. Let's
Now,
talk about this. What
we're
do we
not
have?
a kosher kitchen. We want
Okay.
to make sure that everybody's aware of that, you know, but we do a traditional latkes preparation. We do challah bread grilled cheese with a beautiful tomato soup. That's brisket.
Okay.
So it's a brisket sloppy joe. This is
Now,
our
what is that?
that's our boozy donut. So in the syringe is our boozy jelly that you get to inject. So it's kind of like a project for you know?
Wow.
So you can put it all in there, which I always recommend.
Yes.
Or you can go in moderation.
Okay, that is so much fun.
Yeah.
So, what is your goal when people come visit? I love it because we're in the thick of Chicago. I hear the L going by. What is your goal when your customers come? What do you want them to see when they get here, and how do you want them feeling when they leave?
want them-
Besides feeling pretty good, because
Right,
your
we want to feel
cocktails
good.
are crazy.
The cocktails are great. The food's wonderful.
Yes.
We just wanted to share an experience, you know, like for us, it's been a learning experience, learning about Jewish culture and the holiday of Hanukkah. So, you know, we get to introduce it to people that aren't Jewish, you know, like the bulk of our regulars aren't Jewish. So it's a great way for people to understand, you know, that everything can be celebrated, you know, and even for guys that aren't Jewish, you know, we can embrace that culture and bring it to the masses, if you will.
Very fun. Cheers to that. Delicious. Thank you, Kyle.
My pleasure.
Still ahead, River North goes full spectacle at the Hubbard Inn, where every single room has its own holiday personality, and the food is just as over the top as the decor. And before we're done here, we are back at the Berghoff talking beer with Jim Riggs. Don't miss it.
Okay, Monica, this was so much fun. I love they brought us out. What are the trends we're going to be seeing
What's
for next year?
that?
This is, she said, it's called Devil in the White City. The maraschino is the devil in here, in the White City. And of course, Devil in the White City, that very popular book written about the Chicago
history.
Yep, and then what do you have?
I've got an espresso martini. It'll wake me up so I can go back to work.
Okay. And I love that you were saying, you know, times have changed. Here we are in the Berghoff. It's been around forever. We can eat, we can order, and we can sit wherever we want.
Back at the turn of the century, women were not allowed to have their liquor and their corned beef sandwich here, but now, here we are.
Take this. Here's to a great 2026 and more foodie experiences.
That's right.
Cheers.
Now we're in River North at the Hubbard Inn, but every year the Hubbard Inn, as you can see, changes both inside and out and becomes the Christmas Inn. And I am joined now by Kayla DeGoyer. She is the event coordinator here. Okay, this is spectacular. Tell me about this.
Yeah, the Christmas Inn is our 4th year, and we are bigger and brighter than ever before. We go full out for all of December.
No kidding. I love it. You have Yule logs and all the screens throughout, and everything is decorated from the floor to the ceiling. And tell me about how long does it take to do this?
This takes about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when we start. We started earlier this year, so we started the beginning of November. We have been open and running since the 13th, and we will
Okay.
keep things going until January 1st.
The thing I love about this too is that each corner has its own personality.
Yes. We have our library lounge, which is the back cozy area with the fireplaces, and our front area, once the sun parlor, is now the ice parlor, which is dawned with beautiful snowmen, icicles
great.
everywhere.
And then the bar, you've actually brought a few little things here because you also focus on doing holiday cocktails and food. What do we have?
Yes, we have our mistletoe martini, which is one of my favorites. We have our Christmas mule, and then we have our Santa's sour.
Tell me about the area we're entering now.
We are entering the ice parlor. We've got snowmen and icicles.
And this is probably one of the favorite spots to sit at, right?
100%.
Yeah.
It's right in the front. You get a great view of the whole restaurant.
You said you've been doing this for 4 years, and you have people who come back every year because they love it so much.
100%. Yeah, we definitely have regulars, not only for private
wow.
events, but to just come back and see what seasonal cocktails we have and what food we're bringing.
So we've got this amazing cocktails, and now they're bringing in this food. Whoa! What in the world do we have?
That's a showstopper. This is our chicken pot pie. This is our first year that we are doing this. Thank you, Chef.
That's beautiful.
Chicken and waffles is a staple for our brunch, which we do every Saturday and Sunday. We have our arancini.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, there's more coming.
Okay. Oh, let's put that over here.
And this is
so we can
another
show
new
it
item
off.
as well. This is our caviar potato pave.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Your food is just like total upscale.
I know, I'm a little
Yeah.
biased, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
So when I'm not planning all the events and putting on all the Christmas parties, I am eating everything on the menu.
So these are some of the favorites from the past. This one's brand new.
Yes, that one's brand new. And I see why, because it is huge.
Yeah.
That's a showstopper.
It is huge. So this is something, you guys are open, what are your hours during all of this?
So we actually are opening earlier than we have before. We're opening at 3 p.m. every day. And then brunch is 11 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday.
And can we do a little taste test?
Yeah, what do you have
Okay.
your eye on?
How does one begin with this? Do we know?
I'm not sure, but I think we can learn together.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Wow. Very satisfying.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Look at this crust.
Aside from tasty, I'm sure this is kind of fun for people to do together.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay, let's take a bite. Taste test. Oh, look at that. Oh,
Whoa.
yeah. This is beautiful. Yum.
Oh my gosh. I'm a little nervous here. What do we think out of 10? 10 out of 10?
It's amazing. The crust is incredible.
Right? Great job, Chef.
These are mini beef Wellingtons?
Yes.
I have one over here.
Those are a big seller on our events kit,
Yeah.
too.
Okay, I'm cutting into this. Oh, look at this, you guys. I gotta turn this so the camera can see that.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
get a
that's
close-up.
gorgeous. Is this a regular? Is this one that's been on the menu?
Yeah, so we do that as a feature on our private event menu. But we also have it on our normal menu because of how popular it's been.
I get it.
Yeah.
So good.
Definitely
Okay.
a fan favorite.
So tell everybody where you're located and do you suggest reservations? What do you say?
Yes, so due to high demand, I do recommend doing reservations. You do not need it. Everyone is more than welcome to walk in and just hang out, take a picture or two, grab a drink at the bar.
This is fun no matter what. Just to come over and sit at that huge bar and sit and have a fun holiday cocktail. So cheers to you. Cheers to the
Cheers.
Christmas Inn. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
I can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
Jim Riggs with Berghoff. Thanks
Hi.
for letting us come in and showing off your spot. We are here in the gorgeous bar portion of the Berghoff. The dining room is beautiful, but this bar, give me a little history about the restaurant.
You want some history of
Yeah.
this spot?
Yeah.
Well, I could go on for hours. So, with this place right here in the Berghoff, it was established in 1898. So, in 1898, Herman Berghoff was finally able to get his roots in with his beer that was first started off in Indiana in the 1890s as well. But prior to that, you could end up at one point during the exposition, World's Fair, be able to get a beer for 5 cents.
Tell everybody, what is your job here at the Berghoff?
So what I do here at the Berghoff is I run cellar and I also run brew side. So for cellar, basically what I do is all the cold. So I make sure all the beer is ready and set to come out on tap for you to enjoy.
Okay.
And then on the hot side, I also do with Mark Dukow. That is preparing the beer and cooking the beer, basically you can call it, creating our wort. And then we ferment it in the cellar where I mainly hang out.
Okay, you're down in the basement.
I'm
a
the
lot.
basement
So
dweller
when
of
do
this
they
whole
let
place.
you come up for air?
To talk to
and
you
like-
right now. So,
That's awesome.
Exactly. But yeah, so basically how it works then is we get the beer prepped downstairs after we brew it. I get it all fermented through and then 14 beers on tap.
Wow, 14 beer. Okay, so what do I have in front of me? And I don't know a lot about beer, so tell me a little bit about this one.
So currently you have a Hefeweizen in front of you. This is our Hubert's Hefeweizen.
Bless you, what?
Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen, you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Okay.
So Hefeweizen. Basically what you have there is a wheat beer.
Wheat beer.
So it's a heavy wheat beer, 60% wheat in your malt carry. So you're gonna end up getting a beer that's gonna have like a nice banana kind of clove kind of undertone, a little bit sweet, a little
Yeah,
bit
it's nice.
fruity, and it's one of our most popular German styles here that we serve.
Okay.
They're a traditional German style meal beer, is
Okay,
what you would
meal
have.
beer.
Yes. I also right now have our Kentucky Common on in my glass. This is
Okay.
a steam engine, is what I call it. It's a Kentucky Common. So this style of beer right here is basically the original German beers that came to America. So when they first tried to brew beer, they realized they couldn't do it right away. So they were having issues with the protein of the malt. I'm gonna get a little sciencey on you for
Okay.
that one. And when that ended up happening, they ended up having to find adjuncts in order to get the beer to actually work right. Because it was coming out way too cloudy, a little thick, just like a Hefeweizen. That's when corn got involved. So then corn and all the other malts started happening, and we were able to get beer again here in the United States.
Wow, this is
So-
truly an art form.
Yes. I mean, the restaurant opened in 1898 in Chicago. So when you think about that, that's like many generations back on people that are actual Chicago dwellers.
Yeah. What does your family think that you ended up at the Berghoff?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank my mom on this whole situation actually, because originally I did a lot of like home brewing and then ended up winning those little homebrewer awards. And from there, because of her, that's how I ended up in the industry. She didn't get me in the industry, I got myself
Yeah.
in, but because of her pushing me,
Yeah,
it helped me get in.
You had a love for it, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So when people come to the Berghoff and they don't know much about the beer, Jim's going to be back behind the counter there, and they say to you, "I don't know anything about beer. What do you recommend? What do you tell people to order?"
First, I ask them if they're into heavy beers or light beers. That's number one and number two. If you want a heavier beer from us, you can go and get our Scottish ale that we have on right now called the Going Plaid. That's going to be a nice 9% style beer, so it's a heavier wee heavy. If you just want a session beer, a classic table beer, classic beer, we have the Open Check that's on tap right now. We also have our Helles Lager. What the Helles is what we call it. So yeah, we have a few beers along those lines. So we have light, too heavy, and dark. It's
How do you
every day.
say Merry Christmas in German? I don't even know. Do you know?
I should. My mom's German.
That's okay. Let's do this. Cheers and Merry Christmas.
Cheers and
Happy
Merry Christmas to you
holidays,
as
right?
well, definitely.
And that's our holiday toast to Chicago. We want to thank our friend Monica Eng from Axios Chicago for her incredible insight, and Jim Riggs for the holiday pours at the Berghoff. And to all of the places that allowed us to stop by, thank you for your hospitality. I'm Sylvia Perez. Wherever you celebrate, however you celebrate, we hope it's delicious. Happy holidays, everyone.